Now, this has been a bad week so far for ICE in Chicago. A judge has ordered the embattled Immigration and Border Control Agency to dial back arrest tactics in Chicago.
And this coming as well as a grand jury refuses to indict a Chicago couple that was arrested by ICE. Investigative reporter Chuck Goudie is here tonight with details on both of these cases. Chuck?
Stephen, Allison, both of these legal items tonight putting the immigration agency on thin ice during operations in Chicago. A federal court judge finding that ICE is breaking arrest rules they agreed to 3 years ago and is reining in warrantless arrests of individuals without probable cause. And tonight, well-publicized ICE arrest last month will result in no federal charges after a grand jury refuses to indict. Tear gas and tension filled the air the last weekend of September during violent protests here at the ICE facility in West Suburban Broadview. That's when this husband and wife from Chicago were arrested by federal agents. 21-year-old Ray Collins and 30-year-old Jocelyn Robledo charged with felony assault of a federal officer while both carried guns and allegedly struggled with agents. Turns out both were legally permitted to carry the pistols and licensed in Illinois. Prosecutors here at the Dirksen Federal Building today dropping charges against the couple after a federal grand jury in Chicago declined to approve indictments against them, something that almost never happens because the grand jury only hears the government's side of the allegation.
There's an old adage that a good prosecutor could get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich. And in my case, obviously, they didn't even have enough for a ham sandwich.
You've been at this for decades. How rare is it for a grand jury to say no?
Very rare. You know, and realistically, it's citizens from the community, so there's no party lines by which grand juries are drawn. I'm assuming the grand jury consisted of Democrats and Republicans from Chicago who I think have had enough of what's going on in the streets.
And so has U.S. District Court Judge Jeffrey Cummings. In this blistering ruling yesterday, Cummings said ICE has been repeatedly violating a court agreement made in 2022 in which the agency agreed to not make warrantless arrests without probable cause. Judge Cummings ordering that to stop and ICE to lift all bond conditions for 22 arrestees, with hundreds of others who could also be freed because they were illegally arrested. Tonight, though, some doubt ICE will follow their own agreed rules.
Unfortunately, the Trump administration and its agencies have a record of defying court orders. We can't take anything for granted. I think that clearly the president has overstepped his authority, and he is creating a chaotic and dangerous situation in Chicago and in my home state of Illinois. I hope the courts will try to stop him.
No comment tonight from the U.S. Attorney in Chicago concerning that brush-off by the grand jury. The prosecutor in the case reported to have told the judge simply that it happens periodically. And Justice Department attorneys from Washington who have been handling that ICE arrest agreement were not available for comment. Emails to them bounced back to our investigative team, citing the government shutdown. Stephen?
A lot of people furloughed right now. Chuck Goudie with the latest. Chuck, we appreciate your reporting. Thank you so much.